Hello and welcome to another webinar of OpenLM on the subject of the OpenLM extensions. So basically I see that we're two people here. So I want to make this a bit more personal because it's only two people. You can ask questions along the way. I'm not going to give you the full presentation meant for the whole 20 people, but I will go over the whole system with you, show you a few things that is extended to OpenLM. But if you have any questions or anything, you are now unmuted, so you will be able to ask away whatever you want, no problem. So first of all, let's take a look at the core OpenLM product. After we take a look at the core OpenLM product, we will understand enough to take a look at the extensions and see how it can extend our usage. So going over the reports quickly in the OpenLM Core, OpenLM pretty much gives you all the different statistical information and trends that you need. It shows you what's going on right now, what is happening statistical wise, and it can also predict what you need and how many licenses you actually need for when you buy licenses the next time. Now, when I get to extensions, you'll notice that it's no longer about reporting. It's mostly managerial capabilities and more automated system. So first of all, you can see here the license servers that you probably know. You know how many licenses you have. You can see all your license servers. You can see who is actually using those licenses. And this gives you pretty much an idea of what's going on now. For example, I see William, Margaret, Madeline. So this is great. This shows you the current status, shows you all your licensed servers at the same place. Great, but let's take a look at a few a bit of statistical information and reporting. Now, you see here that I have the licensed servers. This is a client database with 202 licensed servers. So you can add any licensed server you'd like, LMX, FlexLM, RLM, just about everything. Another part of the OpenLM Core system is the license usage report, which shows you pretty much how far you are from maxing out your licenses. You got the denials report that shows you what's going on after the licenses were maxed out. I'm just going over all the main core products, so we'll have something to jump from and continue with the main extensions, main subject of the webinar. Of course, that you also have the license utilization report, which shows you how many licenses you actually need. So for example, let's say that I'm okay with the fact that 5% of the times users will get denied. So I can set the quality of service to 95, and I see that I only need 45 licenses. Now this gives you a lot of power when confronting the vendor, but you can also take a look at it from another perspective and see the licenses not in use. Meaning that you can see, for example, Navisworks have never been used. So next time I purchase it, I don't have to purchase Navisworks. I can purchase a different package. I can purchase less licenses of Navisworks. I get a lot of information to help me when confronting the vendor. So this, as you've seen, is the probably in broad strokes the main reports of OpenLM. Now, what can OpenLM do beyond that? You have the reporting capabilities, you can monitor, but you need a bit more. So let's go over the extensions, that OpenLM can give you. So first of all, I just want to say that the OpenLM system is fully enterprise ready. Now, what does that mean? It means that we can configure Okay, I'm sorry, my screen was off, but it's okay. We're coming to the main portion anyway, to the extension. So, as I said, the OpenLM system is enterprise ready. It, first of all, lets you connect to your Active Directory and set different groups for the users that you pull from the Active Directory. So how does it look? How does it look like? As you see here, you can see that I can set an LDAP connection. I can set an Active Directory domain and connect to it and get all the users inside. Now, I can either set the groups of those users to be a flat group, meaning I just select a group and it keeps flat, I just give it a name, or by the hierarchy of the OUs or security groups, or you can just use an attribute and select one of the attributes, for example, department, meaning that everyone with the same department will be a part of the same group. So this enables you also to view the data, view the information by groups. So for example, if we go to license activity report, we'll be able to filter certain groups, or even we'll be able to show how many usage hours per group. So a group can be any organizational unit, it can be any OU that you created. You can create it from the Active Directory, it can be pulled from the options files, and it can be created manually even. Now the next thing that makes OpenLM into a enterprise-ready system is the roles and permissions extension. Now what is that? Roles and permissions allow you to set different views to different users in the system, meaning that the admin will be able to see different things in OpenLM than the user itself, than the end user itself. For example, you can set that a certain group will be able to enter the easy admin, the OpenLM interface, but they will only be able to see servers that relate to them. For example, group from USA. So if it's group from USA, then show them only servers from USA. Or if it's an end user, don't show anything but one report that he needs. Or if it's an admin, show him everything that he needs. The next extension that I want to show you is a very handy extension. It's an extension that notifies you when certain criteria are actually met. Now, you can see here that you can get notified via email, SMS, or you can just pop up a notification on the end user interface here. So what can it notify you about? First of all, if a license server is not responding, that's pretty self-explanatory. The license server is down. It probably needs to be taken care of, needs to go online. You probably need to do something with it quickly. So you can get notified once it's not responding. You can also get notified if a usage percentage goes over a certain amount. Now here it's 90%, but it can be whatever you choose. It means that, let's say there's a license and it's about to be maxed out. It's almost maxed out. You got 100 licenses, more than 90 were pulled, meaning that soon, if people keep getting those licenses, soon they will get denied. So in order to avoid those denials, you can know that the usage percentage is above a certain threshold, and you can know to act accordingly, to go to the workstation and close the workstation, to talk to the person and tell him to release the license, to whatever you choose, whatever you have in your arsenal. You can get notified when a duplicate license is being used, meaning that someone opens two instances of the same application on the same machine and uses up two licenses or more. If an expiration date is, if a license is about to expire, here it's 14 days, but you can do it whatever you choose. Let's say that you have a license that's about to expire, so if you have one license, then okay, you can know when it expires, just remember it, put it in your diary or something. But if you have 30,000 different features, licenses, many different things, then you can't really track it. You need to get notified when something happens. So you will get notified once a license is about to expire. For example, 1 month before, so you'd know to contact the vendor, start getting a budget for it, so you know that time is running out. You can set up a notification to get notified if a user is not inside a group or not inside a project, meaning that it's an unauthorized usage. If you have all your users in groups and suddenly you see one that's, you get notified for a user that's outside of a group, so that means that it's an unauthorized usage. It's someone not in a group. You don't know what's going on with him. You probably need to know about it. You can get notified if a usage period goes over a certain threshold. Here it's 600 minutes, meaning that you can set a threshold that above it you will get notified saying that, oh, you have a user that's using for more than 12 hours. If he's using for more than 12 hours, probably he's not next to the machine. He's probably at home. He's probably not there. So the license is being used, but is not actually being used. So it's just pulled. And you can also notify the user itself automatically. The system will notify the user itself that, well, you used for more than 12 hours. Please note to close your application before you go home. Maximum number of 1,000 denials in a period of 1 minute. What does that mean? Well, let's say that I have, as it says here, 1,000 denials in a period of 1 minute or 10 minutes for a certain feature. So that means that something's wrong. The license server might be up, everything might be okay, seem to be okay, but you get denials. You get a lot of denials. It can be because the license expired, or you didn't replace the license right, or you just got a bad license from the vendor. So many things can happen, but the 1,000 denials or a threshold of denials tells you that, well, something is seriously wrong here. I need to check it out. So this is the alert extension that shows you everything, that alerts you on everything that you need to know about the system, pretty much everything. The next extension allows you to create options file. Now, if you don't know, options file is a FlexLM file that you can set different criteria to different groups, different users. You can include them in certain feature, you can exclude them, you can reserve licenses for them. And this is pretty much a text file. Let me show you. It's pretty much text file, and it's very, very prone to errors, as it's usually made by just one guy that goes over all the options file. Now, if you have a lot of options files, then errors can run rampant. It's very prone to errors, to human error, and if one character is out of place in the syntax, so the whole options file is not configured, is not compiled correctly. So what Openlm enables you to do is use this interface to create that options file. Now let me show you. Let's select 2017, for example, and I'll add a group, UK sales. I'll add it, and I'll include it into this this feature. So once we save it, you should be able to see it. Group UK sales 2017 right here. Include this feature into this feature, this group. Now it depends what you put after what and what comes before what, and it has a lot of complicated rules and syntax, and sometimes they change the options file structure, the syntax. They sometimes change it when they change versions, and you don't even know why it's not working anymore. So this is one of I think one of the best examples of management with the options file in the market. There are no interfaces like this that give you these options. Now, of course, that you can do it for all licensed servers that you have, all the features inside them, maybe just all the features together, whatever you choose. And next, I want to show you the the Openlm Agent. I want to show you a bit of its capabilities. We'll ramp it up, start small and ramp it up and get to the App Manager at the end. So what is the Openlm Agent and what are the extensions for it? So the Openlm Agent is a component that sits on the workstation, on the end user workstation, and gives you a lot of extra functionality as a result. Now I will be going over the extensions relating to the Openlm Agent. So first of all, the first extension that I want to show you is the actual usage extension. Now, what is the actual usage extension? What does it do? Well, it allows you to track the behavior of your users. What does that mean, behavior? Well, if they pull a license and the license itself, they pull a license and the license itself was not used, meaning that they opened the application, but they went on Facebook, they went home, they went to a meeting, they're not using the application. The application is not using CPU, it's not using RAM, memory, just about nothing. So in that case, the Openlm actual usage extension can show you exactly the idle time for that user, and you'll know that, well, this user is not using properly. So you can tell him to use the license, or you can go to his machine and see that, oh, he's 10 hours idle, so I'm going to go to his machine and just shut it off. Maybe I can call him and ask him to close it. You can do one of many different things with the idle time here. Now, once the idle time has reached a certain threshold, you're able to tell the system to close his application for him. Now, what does that mean, to close his application? He can save and close his application for Autodesk, MATLAB, ArcGIS, and SolidWorks, meaning that if he has work done, it will save his work and it will close his application. So right here, you see that I have idle time for the application. I've opened, let me show you. I've opened AutoCAD right here, and the application is now idle. So I'm able to see that this session, RUV, that's me, is idle for like 2 minutes. And if we look at the idle time graph here, we see exact time that it was idle. Now I can go to that person and say, okay, you have 9 hours of idle time, or you have 1 hour of idle time, release the license. Or you can set a threshold to close his license automatically, as I said. But you can also close his application remotely. So if we just close here, you see that it's using for too long, so click just close app, and in about a minute or two, the application will be closed and the user will get a notification saying that the application has been closed, and it has been caused by the admin, or it has been caused by the idle time threshold, but the user gets notified and his application gets closed. Now, what if it's other applications besides the application was closed, and and so where was it? The application itself was closed due to the fact that I clicked here, close the app. So it enables you to pretty much free up used licenses that are not actually being used. So you can increase your utilization as a result. Now, let's take a look at the next step of the agent. Let's say that I want to restrict certain applications from being used, or I simply want to monitor them. But they don't have floating licenses. OpenLM usually deals with floating licenses, but it's not a floating license. What can I do? So the Openlm App Manager allows you to track and monitor applications which are floating licenses, named licenses, node-lock licenses, single-use licenses, even applications without a license like Power BI or Photoshop, or even application without with just a process like pzip or something. But for example, you see Autodesk here. That's a hybrid Autodesk. That means I have floating licenses as well as named licenses, and I can track and monitor them. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why should I monitor named licenses? It's one user, and that's it. One user, one usage. Why monitor? Well, how much is that user using? Do you know? Will he be better off in the floating license pool? Let's say that he uses 1 hour a week. So why should he have a named license? You can put him in the floating license pool. And from the floating license pool, you can get someone that uses 9 hours, 10 hours a day, every day, and you can just give him a named license. That will be cheaper for you. So this way you can get a full bird's eye view of what is actually going on with your licenses and who can get the named licenses and who will be in the floating pool. So the next thing that Openlm App Manager allows you to do is set different criteria to deny or to allow the application from being opened. So I just want to give you an example here, and then I'm going to go over all the options. So time after 8 and time before 9. So if the time is after 8 and before 9, then deny the usage. Now let's go back here and try to open AutoCAD. So we opened AutoCAD, but we got this message saying that access denied due to normal USA working hours rule. It's normal USA working hours rule right here. For example, if I try to allow it, then I will be able to pull the AutoCAD license. You see, it pulls the AutoCAD license. So this enables you to deny or allow different parts of the planet, for example, to use the same licenses. So, for example, you can set USA to be from 8 to 4 and China to be 4 to, I don't know, 4 to 9, and then you got maybe Australia. I don't know. You can set it up however you choose. But the main thing here is that you can create many different conditions. So it's time condition, which application, which version, which group, which username, which vendor. You can choose or not choose that as you please. But you can already see a few combinations that we can create here. For example, Autodesk 2017. Let's say that I have licenses for 2016, 2017, 19, and I want people only to be using Autodesk 2019. So I can deny all the other versions and only allow version 19. So this way you can keep compliant at 100%. You can know that you're fully compliant with your licensing policy. They're using only this version, only what you have, and it gives you a lot of power when trying to set different conditions for your license consumption. So as we've seen, the agent can either close the application after it has been opened, or it can prevent it from being opened in the first place. So this can be done, as I said, to all applications. Photoshop, Autodesk, Excel, Power BI, Visual Studio, just about everything. And of course that you can set the license consumption and return policies. I'm not going to go into it, but for example, return license when workstation is hibernating, meaning that the workstation is not working, so you should return the license. Shouldn't have that license on the machine. And the last extension that I want to show you is the Openlm Reporting Hub, which gives you more reporting capabilities out of OpenLM. So OpenLM has its embedded reports, and sometimes users, experienced users, well, they need more. They ask for more, they need this report, that type of aggregation, and every client needs it differently. So the OpenLM Reporting Hub allows you to set different dashboards and reports and have them fully interactive using all the measures you find in OpenLM, but you can even calculate them. For example, you see I have utilization percentage over time, license quantity, average of session duration. I have a lot of different measures and aggregations and reports that OpenLM simply doesn't have. So OpenLM Reporting Hub is actually a reporting database. There's an ETL, a data engine that gets data from the source OpenLM database into the reporting database. And it calculates all the data that it needs. It creates all the fields that it needs and creates a reporting database which you can use with any BI tool, even Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Click, whatever you choose. And you can do it, you can create these reports simply by dragging and dropping different columns into place. Now, if you excuse me, I need a minute, 1 minute, and I'll be back. Thank you. 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. So as I said, the Openlm Reporting Hub gets data from the Openlm source database into a reporting database which you can access using any BI tool. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why not connect directly to the source Openlm database and that's it? Well, the source Openlm database doesn't hold anything that you want, pretty much anything, because it gets raw information tailor-made for the Openlm user interface. So the user interface does post-processing on the information and creates all the measures and dimension that's needed. For example, if you try to find session duration, you won't find it. Concurrent usage, you won't find it. You won't find anything that you actually need in the source database, but in the Openlm Reporting Hub database, you will have everything that you need, everything that you want. It's structured in a dimension and measure fashion, which is pretty much the industry standard. So let me explain a little bit. What is a dimension? Dimension is something that you measure by, meaning group is a dimension, you got the group name. License is a dimension, you got the license feature, license server, all the names of the different license descriptions. User can be a dimension, for example, username, first name, office, whatever. And measure, it's something that you actually measure. For example, usage time, which is session duration, idle time, denials, concurrent usage, daily quantity measure. So now I want to show you how easy it is to actually create new reports and how self-explanatory it is. So we just create a new bar chart. Now let's say that we want to show session duration by the users. So we go to user dimension, get the username, just drag it in there. We go to usage time, usage measure, we take usage time, just drag it in there. We can sort by the usage time, and we see usage by user. Let's say that I want to see the group as well. I can put the group here. I go to group dimension, take the group name, and you see groups right here. Let's say that I want to drill down inside this specific group. So I click on it and I drill down into this specific group. And I see all the users inside. I can also put the workstation inside if I want and drill down into a workstation. And I see so that user is using 4 different workstations. Now, this can go on and on. You can drill down and drill up into features, servers. You can drill even sideways if you do double drilling in the column of the table, for example. You can go nuts with it. You can create new measures very simply, very easily. You just get one measure plus another measure, or this measure times this measure divided by this measure. It's very simple. It's just like an Excel function. If anybody used an Excel function, they know it's pretty easy, pretty simple to learn. And this works just about the same way. And you'll be able to get different fields, such as utilization report, which is non-existent in the Openlm database. Also not in the reporting database, but you can create it using the quantity and the concurrent measure. So this is it pretty much for all the Openlm extensions. Just to recap, we took a look at the Active Directory connection, which enables you to get users from your Active Directory into Openlm and even group them by their by any different criteria that you choose. We saw that you're able to set different roles to different users, and different users will see different things on the Easy Admin or anywhere on the Openlm system. We saw that you can notify yourself, you can have the system notify you once a criteria has happened. For example, a license is about to expire, duplicate usage, license server not responding, and so on. Now, after that, we took a look at the options file management, which enables you to create a options file without writing a single letter, without having someone to do it, to have knowledge in it, to have experience in it. You just do it using the interface, and it does it as well as a professional. We took a look at the Openlm Agent, which the Openlm Agent has a few tiers. We took a look at the first tier, which is the actual usage, shows you the idle time. We took a look at the second tier, which is the active agent, which enables you to either save and close an application or suspend an application, or even just kill the process if you choose. And after that, we took a look at the App Manager, which allows you to track and monitor different licensed applications, meaning named license, floating license, no license at all. It can allow you to monitor and set different criteria for using those applications. And lastly, we took a look at the Openlm Reporting Hub, which the Reporting Hub allows you to custom query your database and get all the different dashboards, reports, all the different fields that you need, pretty much everything that you need in one place. And it's very versatile, very flexible. You see that the structure is very self-explanatory. User dimension, workstation dimension, it's pretty self-explanatory. And that's about it for me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm gonna unmute you. If you want to ask, just you're free to ask by microphone. You can even ask by the chat that we have in the GoToWebinar here. So go ahead. Anything that you want to know, want to ask, go ahead.
Yes, maybe I'd have a question about the reporting extension. What kind of dependencies do we need to operate it? I see you have a BI tool. That's probably something we would need to license as well.
Yes, now the BI tool, we use Power BI Desktop because we think it's the best BI tool out there, and it gives you it gives us the ability to demonstrate the tool using a desktop version without paying subscription for it. But when you install it on your system, we bring everything that you need. We even bring the Power BI desktop. We install everything. The Openlm support team, that is, installs everything that you need on the system. It needs to be on a dedicated server, but it can also be on the Openlm server, no problem. And if you want, you can use any other BI tool that you need, meaning that if you have Qlik, CSense, Tableau, any other, you can even use them, no problem. If you want to use Power BI, there is the Power BI desktop option, which is totally free. It's what you're seeing here. You don't need to pay a cent for it. You don't need to register, nothing. If you want to take this a bit further, then yeah, you can subscribe to Power BI, the Microsoft BI tool. You subscribe to Tableau, whichever one you choose. And once you have a subscription, you're able to get it online, to get it live to a cloud. But what our clients usually do, you just install Power BI on, let's say, on the stakeholders' machines. You install Power BI on your manager's machine, on your machine, and on your worker machine, for example. I don't know. So each one that has the Power BI desktop, free version installed, can just simply click refresh, and all the information will be refreshed, and he will get all the data, meaning that all that he needs to do is actually double click the report, and that's it. The report opens, the report refreshes, and he gets everything that he needs with a click of a button. So yeah, you can use the free version and have it installed on the people that have the stakeholders machines, or you can pay and buy a subscription to Power BI Cloud or CSense or whatever you choose.
Okay, thanks. That's quite helpful to know that there's a free option which is shipped with the extension.
Yeah, most of our clients use the free option, yes.
Perhaps an additional question with the reporting module. I noticed that when we use the reportings which are in Easy Admin, we often have hard limitations because of the number of records that needs to be fetched in the database. For instance, we have about 300 clients, which I would like to make a query for, say, the whole year about the usage. And I think it's not really possible, at least not with the version I have, which is still version 3.3. And I was wondering if it's possible to overcome that limitation with the BI extension.
Yes, you can overcome that limitation, but you can also overcome that limitation in the Easy Admin itself. For example, if I choose, let's say 1 year back, so I do the aggregation not by hours, I do it by days or by weeks or by months, and then it will let me put all the details here. But if you do need to have all the records on the graph, and you want a single graph, you don't want to aggregate it too much, then yeah, you can use the Openlm Reporting Hub to do that. But I think that aggregating it daily, if you're taking like the last year, it's good enough, I think. But if you want it to be more granular, then yeah, the Openlm Reporting Hub is your is what you need.
Okay. And perhaps another question, which is not related with the reporting, but with the agent. We haven't actually licensed the active agent, and it's quite a bit puzzling because we have in the Easy Admin module several hooks in the graphical user interface, which I think are quite puzzling because since we don't have the functionality, the buttons are still there, for instance, to close an application, and it would probably be ideal to remove these if the dependencies are not licensed. That would be probably a bit less, more.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. It should not be there.
Because at least in the first phase, it was quite difficult to sort of know what was available, what was licensable, and I think since then it's much clearer. But at first, it was a bit difficult to come.
I agree. Some parts of OpenLM get grayed out. They get gray, and you're not able to click them. But that's probably something that we missed, the close app button. But thank you. I will open a bug request on it.
Welcome. Thanks. Thanks also for your time and for the webinar.
Happy to be here. I have also a question from Birth, I want to be, I think that I'm pronouncing it right. So is the PBIX file available for anyone who purchased OpenLM Pro? So the PBIX file is the report. It's a Power BI report, actually. It's a report file. So the sample report file will be, you will get it if you sign up, if you purchase the Openlm Reporting Hub. So you will get this exact report. Let me show you. This report, the utilization report with the denials report, and you'll simply get it like this. So once you need to view the data, you just need to double click the PBIX file, and that's it.
Okay. So is that reporting hub, is it an extra purchase along with OpenLM Pro, or it is included by default?
No, it's an extra purchase. If you buy a site license, it's included inside, but for Pro and Enterprise, it's not included. It's an extra feature.
Okay, got it. Sure. Thanks for explaining that.
No problem. Okay, so if you have any more questions, please ask. If not, I will bid you a good day. I hope it was informative. If you need to know more, if you want have any more questions or anything, send us an email to support@openlm.com, or you can just catch us in the chat we have in the website. You can just catch us there and ask us. It's the fastest way. Okay? So our door is open. Always keep that in mind. We take pride in our support team. So everything that you need, just let them know. Okay?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Great. So have a great day. Bye, guys.
Thanks, same to you.